How to create a healthy environment for our children. I've spoken in past presentations on how important it is to create a healthy environment for our children. Well, how do we go about doing that? It's with this: good faith parenting. Today, we're going to be learning about good faith parenting and what that means. What it doesn't mean is that you being a perfect person. It doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. Good faith parenting is about being as real as possible. The more authentic, the better, because children are bullshit detectors, so they could pick up when we're not being sincere, when we're not being fully present, when we say one thing, but we don't fully mean it. So good faith is about being honest with our mistakes. That goes so much further. It alleviates the pressure in yourself and your child. And by doing that, you actually open up the path towards good faith parenting. Let's go through this chart together to understand even deeper what good faith parenting is all about. For the sake of understanding what good faith is, it's important to contrast. So on this side, we have what bad faith parenting will look like. Of course, we've all are tempted to be bad faith at times. It's okay if you've done some of these things. Okay, it's totally okay. We're all guilty of it. Just like our children, we are also works in progress. And that's part of what being good faith is about, is to admit that, to accept that. That's okay. So the very first thing we're looking at here is sovereignty. When sovereignty is denied, that would be considered bad faith. Now, it's important that we get clear what this word means. And as adults, we all understand this for ourselves. Like, we want to be sovereign. The idea of parenting is to help our children become sovereign as well. So sovereignty denied sounds like this: be what I need. Be what I need, Johnny. I need you to pass this test. I need you to get dressed with these clothes. I need you to talk, walk, act like this. That is not sovereignty. Good faith would be sovereignty honored. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't give your child the example of eating this way or talking this way or walking this way, etc. That doesn't mean that you don't exemplify that, and you give them, maybe suggestions in a good faith manner. Ultimately, a good faith, sovereign approach would be to tell your child, you know what? Be who you are. Celebrate their uniqueness. That's essentially where we're trying to aim. Next up is conditional love. Conditional love sounds like, I'll show up, I'll be there for you, I'll do this for you if you behave, if you pass your test, if you do so-and-so, right? If you walk and talk and eat this way. Again, this is tied to the sovereignty. A good faith parent demonstrates unconditional love. Again, it's not that we don't guide our children, but ultimately we tell our children, and our children understand deep, deep within them that they're loved, period. And that you have faith that they will develop into a good faith person themselves. Next up, we looked at unpredictable. A bad faith parenting style will be unpredictable. It would mean that the rules change with our mood. So we have a bad day at our job, we take it on our children, and we don't give them a heads up about that. This is key. To keep our children in the loop means to be good faith. So we're a little more reliable under the good faith in comparison to unpredictability. We have a steady presence. Part of that steady presence could be telling your child, I've had a bad day. I need some time to unwind. I'm going to put some music on. I hope you understand. When we do that, they see us as reliable. That's right, as reliable communicators. Next up, we'll look at promises. And when they're broken, that's bad faith. Now, I don't need to go beyond that, right? Make a promise, you break it, it's bad faith. It's bad faith. Good faith, you keep your promises. But again, even here, if you explain to your child, look, these things came up, and you explain to them, and you explain to them why. Now, you can't do this over and over again, obviously. If you're a parent that has a lot of pressing issues with their job, maybe you have your own business, maybe lower the promises. Just don't make the promises, and you could avoid this altogether. Next up, rigid or absent. I put these both here together because a lot of parenting books have pushed us either to be rigid, you do as I say, you do this. Maybe it's not books, but maybe it's from tradition, from customs. Or this is a more modern problem where the parent is absent. And what happens is maybe we grew up in a rigid environment. And so we're like, you know what? Screw that rigidness. So then we decide to let our kids be completely free, or maybe too free. And then we end up being absent. And this is the pitfall that we could fall into. What we're talking about with good faith is understanding the middle ground, that we should not settle for being absent and we should not settle for being rigid. Instead, we should be firm and free, firm and free. Clear boundaries with clear choices. Think of a river. A river, the water is allowed to be free in there, right? There's fishes that are allowed to be free, but they have boundaries, right? So the water could be contained. That's what we're talking about. The love, the direction, the instruction, can be contained there, but we have to give them real freedom to swim in that river. Okay, we can't make that river too swim, and we can't, open it up to an ocean where they drown. Firm and free. That's what we're looking for in a good faith approach. Bad faith. Parent, never apologize. Never wrong, never repairs. This usually happens because we ourselves did not experience this. A lot of old school parents see that as a weakness. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not a weakness at all. There's negative consequences to this. Instead, repair and admit that you messed up when you in fact did mess up. There's nothing wrong with that. If we want our children to come and be forthright with us, we have to be forthright with them. One last point I would love to highlight here is that good faith parenting might not come natural to you right now. It might not come easy. And there's a good reason for that. We haven't been given many examples of this. So you're making your own path. It's not going to be easy. But I want to explain to you, it's probably one of the most important decisions you can make in your life. We're talking about compounded interest here. When you take this approach, you are setting new seeds that will sprout and grow and produce for generations thereafter. Because it's compounded interest. These approaches demonstrate to your child how to relate to the world itself. And you could alleviate all the consequences that come with bad faith parenting, because they do. Drug abuse, divorce, loneliness, so many other things that come with bad faith parenting, where a child has to spend the rest of their lives trying to figure out what is wrong with them, what's going on with them, because it's not necessarily about significant trauma. These bad faith parenting approaches, they add up on each other and they create an incomplete child. And that child lives the rest of the adult life trying to figure out what's going on. And they will then be left to discover this good faith approach for themselves and for their family. So I want you to consider that. It's compounded interest. It's your time well spent.